Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our match reaction show. It's finished Leicester 0, Manchester United 1, and I don't know, it was an interesting game. It was a very tactical game. It's just one of those games where you think United deserved the win, but you almost wonder why only one goal was scored. Like, I mean, both teams never really. They both attacked. You think 1-0, you think, yeah, it's boring, it's nothing. But reality is, and if you look at the shots as well, I don't think the numbers are too high. But it just felt like the game was one pass or one key moment away from really opening up, and it just never arrived, except for that one time. It just never arrived. I mean, there's so many chances for Manchester United where you thought, if you can just get that one pass through, one run through, and then they'll be in on goal, and they just never made it, or they just never could make it. And I don't know what happened. Same with Leicester. I mean, Leicester had a couple of good chances. Maddison's free kick was brilliant. There were some chances as well at the end, but you always felt like, just a little bit more composure, just a one little pass or one little bit of quality on the cross, they could have got in, but they just couldn't. And that, I think, is the story of the match. I don't think either team really impressed fully, but if one team had to win, I think Manchester United deserved that win overall. I think 1-0 is a result that doesn't flatter. It's a good, it's what do you just deserved scoreline. I don't think it flatters United. I don't think it necessarily flatters Leicester as well. But that is what it is. The goal itself was actually very well worked. That was brilliant run. So the whole move was good because it comes out nicely to Sancho, and Sancho doesn't give it up. He knows he's not going to get it. He doesn't give it up. So he forces Ward to play a long ball. When they play the long ball, it was nice. Again, I think it was Dalot. I think it was who heads it, who puts it forward. And Bruno, for some reason, knows where the ball is going to be, or he's aware that he's going to get into space. So he makes sure he's in space when the ball comes to him, and he gets in space. Don't know what the Leicester defense is doing over there, but many of them are caught off field. They're too slow to get back. Bruno gets the ball. Maybe some of them even thought that the ball will come back, so let's just stay in the area to try to get a header or something. But the ball comes to Bruno. It's a brilliant pass on to Rashford. Rashford does very well to get the pass away to Sancho, because in most cases in that Rashford messed up. Most of the times Rashford messes up, but that time he didn't, and he got that pass in. It's a great finish from Sancho. It's 1-0, and for Sancho it's 2 goals now in 3 games. I do feel that his overall game was pretty average, but that one moment of class was definitely on. I think he showed it there, and it's a good goal from him. Gives United the lead, and it just kind of felt United can just take the game away. They could have had a couple of goals in the first half itself. There's so many opportunities where I'm not saying that they had goal scoring gilt edge opportunities, and that's the sad part. They didn't have too many gilt edge chances. What they had were nice openings where they're a little bit more composure, a little bit a better pass, a better run. Could have just gotten the second, and that would have killed the game up. But for some reason, they just United either chose not to do it, either they messed it up. I don't know, whatever it was. But what I liked in that first half, and I thought that first half United dominated, was one, they were pressing very high energy. They were not pressing high up the pitch, but in the middle of the park, they really congested it. And what they were doing was they were winning the second balls. Every single time almost they were winning the second ball. Varane was winning it, Martinez was winning it, Malacia was winning it, Scott McTominay was winning it. I mean, that's just something, isn't it? McTominay winning second balls, as did Eriksen as well. So they were really compacting that midfield space. And what that meant was Leicester, every time they tried to play through, they just couldn't. They just kept losing the ball. And then the second part was the composure. I mean, I don't know what I was watching. Was I watching Manchester United? Was I watching some other team? Because some of that one-touch passing was really, really good. They were getting the ball run. They were working tight angles and tight corners. Of course, it helps when you have Malacia, Martinez, Eriksen, Bruno. These guys, they know how to play through the press. So that helps. And they were doing that. They were really playing through the press. And that again, it's two parts to it, right? You can press high or you can press hard. But if you don't have, and you can win the second balls, but if you don't have the composure to then pass the way out, all you're doing is you're giving the ball back. So they did both sides in the first half. At least they did both sides very well, and I like that. The problem I think in the second half was one, Leicester kind of got a hang of that. They said, fine, if you're gonna do that, we're gonna stretch the pitch. So we're gonna have a midfielders play a little bit deeper. And we're going to stretch the line a little bit. So then they started playing long balls. The problem for Leicester was they didn't have the quality to always get the long balls, right? When they did get them, they got them right, but they didn't do it consistently enough. But it meant that United had to kind of stretch as well, so they couldn't congest the space as much as they wanted to. And the other issue I think was this tiredness. They started getting tired. As the game went on, they started looking a bit ragged. I think that Dewsbury Hall run, where I think Bruno made a mess of it, was the part where I think they just got a lift. They kind of got a lift. And after that, I mean, Maddison, that fantastic free kick, which the hair saved and did really well. And they slowly got into the game. Leicester slowly got into the game. I think United kind of ceased to be an attacking threat. I was happy that he brought on Casemiro earlier, because I thought if he had not brought him on as he did, I was worried that he was going to bring on Maguire, would have totally lost it. It's a good thing he didn't. It's also good that he didn't start Maguire. There was rumors that Maguire might start to give Varane a rest. No need. You play. This is still early days. This is the first time when they're playing twice a week. Let them do it. I mean, the next they can best players for Sociedad, but they don't. United have not got to change that combination now until Sociedad, that back five, and De Gea included. They've got to stay the same now for the Arsenal game as well. You can change the midfield if you want. You can change the forward line if you want. Do not touch that back line. Just keep it as it is. But that second half will be a bit of concern for Ten Hag as well, because if they tire out against Leicester, they're going to tire out against Arsenal. Arsenal are even much more intense. So that's something the fitness will have to be worked on. But there were good parts of the game otherwise. I thought Rashford, again, to me, Rashford is not a striker. He's really not got to play as a striker. And it just looked like, the problem with Rashford when you play Rashford is that immediately United become a one-dimensional team. They just become long ball, long ball, long ball, which is what you want. When they brought on Ronaldo, you could see Ronaldo was coming deeper. He was grabbing the ball. He was bringing others into play. There were a lot of nice, neat touches. Ronaldo had his issues as well. Where there were times where he could have slipped in Bruno, we could have slipped in Rashford, and he didn't. He did it too late. So he has those issues too. But at least with Ronaldo, you're not as one-dimensional as you are with Rashford as a striker. But those are things that I guess Ten Hag will have to work on. He likes the fluidity. I thought Langa looked good as well in the first half. With his pace, I think he scared Leicester a lot with his pace as well, but faded again in the second half as well. So anyway, 1-0. I mean, you can't argue that. 2 clean sheets in a row as well, and that's something that United will take. I mean, they were leaking goals for fun before, so the fact that they've kept 2 away clean sheets on the bounce is something that will please Ten Hag a lot for sure. That defense looks very solid. It's weird as well. They got 3 yellow cards in that defense, but Varane was the only one who didn't get a yellow card. The other 3 all got yellow cards. So it was a little bit weird for me. They weren't necessarily under that much pressure, but that's something as well to work on. I thought Dalot's yellow card was stupid. Man of the match like for Varane. I know they gave it to Eriksen, but for me it was Varane. Varane was just dominant in the air, in the ground. He just looked. I mean, he just helps Martinez so much. Having, I think both of them complement each other really well. But Varane looks solid to me again, and for me, he's the man of the match. So smash like Varane is your man of the match. Let me know in the comments what you think about the game as well. James Justin, by the way, should have scored that chance at the end. He really had a guilt that chance in 93rd minute. He's got to put that in, and he does. And so Ronaldo mess up where he left that shot, where he gave away the ball, and then it comes out to Justin, and he should score, but he misses the target wildly. But smash like for Varane if he's your man of the match, of course. And do remember to subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on you can follow us on Facebook. And remember to subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram as well for the late night. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.